Today, I'm setting myself the challenge of making a 100-calorie pizza that both tastes good and, well, like a pizza, which when you compare it to a standard takeaway pizza and you realize what's inside these things, might be kind of hard. In this box, by a brand similar to the name Chess, is a Mighty Meteor pizza. It's a personal size pizza, and I can confirm I have never ordered one that size before. Normally you get garlic breads this size. This cost me 18 quid. But look, meatballs, pepperoni, sausage, cheese, ground beef. It is cheeky, but this is how cheeky it is. Look at all of this oil. The willpower for not eating this right now is strong. And I don't want to go into all the nutritional details. Obviously, we've just seen all of that oil. But remember, that is just a personal size pizza. It is 800 calories. And in terms of sugar, 3 teaspoons, 4 teaspoons, 5 teaspoons, and a half. That amount of sugar is in that pizza, in the dough, a tiny bit in the toppings, but also the sauce. That's a lot of sugar. So for context, 5.5 teaspoons of sugar is 93-ish calories, and if we've got a benchmark of 100 calories, we might as well serve that on a piece of lettuce. You smell so good. This is gonna be so hard. I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna give in, because we're gonna do 4 quirky pizzas that are supposed to be under 100 calories and see if they're any good, starting with an extremely odd one. Yes, this first one might be the only one we can generally get away with putting a little bit of pepperoni on. Okay, so these are corn cakes. You could use rice cakes, you could use lentil cakes. Don't use actual cake, because that will just destroy the calorie amount. But one of these is actually only 26 calories. The difference between the rice and the lentil is like minimal, especially for what we're putting on this. Like I say, look at this pepperoni slice. You can see the fat in it. It's absolutely crazy. But per one, we can actually have half a slice of pepperoni. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, well, have it and then try and get some nice little strips out of it. I was mulling over actually part cooking this in the oven to crisp it up a little bit so I can sort of like break it down even more, but yeah, that's actually quite a lot for one. I think I'm being generous there actually. That's not very much pepperoni at all, is it? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so here we go. The corn cakes are there. We've got enough for a tablespoon. This is the flexibility because the base is so light and healthy. Tablespoon of pizza sauce. I'm actually using passata. In this bag here is some lighter mozzarella. So this is 15 grams of it here that I've just got, and I'm gonna try and split it between our two. Actually, it looks really diddy and cute. I quite like it. So I'm giving myself enough slack, 15 grams to cover both of these. So that mozzarella on both of those, that's like 40 calories. We're gonna rain on our pepperoni bits. I can't even see them. They're just kind of like hitting the mozzarella a little bit. There you go, all right. I hope it's in there long enough to try and release a little bit of the oils, because that will definitely flavor it. And now we can use things that are sort of negligible. This is some garlic granules, maybe a few chili flakes as well. We've got to try and make this look quite nice today, wherever we can. And some herbs, some oregano on there. All stuff that is not gonna make a massive difference to the calorie count, but can make a huge difference to Flavor Town. A video I've wanted to do for years from Back to the Future. You know the scene about rehydrating a pizza?
I'll break the atrocity channel.
Hydrate level 4, please.
Ooh.
But being such a big Back to the Future fan, that would be a dream to do that someday, somehow. I don't know. In you go, mate. Let's see what happens. Okay, so would you rather this 800 calorie beast or these are actually pretty much around about 85 calories, give or take. Definitely the healthiest today. It's gone actually a little bit soggy, the inside there. Is it a pizza? I mean, it looks like one. That's a lovely crunch. It's definitely pizza flavor. The crunch is extremely like healthy. It's not a base that I really want, you know? But you do get like crust vibes from the cake. The crispness from it is actually helping it be like a crust, but it's the thing that actually, out of all of it, lets it down. The toppings are great, the pepperoni oils have seeped in, that lighter mozzarella, it's really flavored packed, but is it a pizza? I don't really know, but it's a fine, nice, lighter snack, and not a bad start. I don't know which one I'd go for, to be honest, but we must move on. So it's clear to see that the base is gonna be the problem, and the next one is gonna be a tortilla pizza. So this is a standard tortilla, and this is 180 calories alone, the store-bought one, so we've got to make our own. All right, so right here is a mighty 18 grams of plain flour. There's around about 65 calories in that alone. We're gonna give ourselves a pinch of salt and water just to start making a dough, and we need to get it nice and flat, but let's first, of course, make sure we can roll it out. Oh my gosh, this isn't gonna be a massive one, but we'll get it as thin as we can. All right, yeah, we'll just let it sit and hydrate a minute. But actually, as a blob like that, that might roll out quite thin, you know. All right, this might be a touch overkill, as I've got 2 gigantic pieces of baking parchment, but I'm gonna push it down. We wanna get this nice and thin. Oh my gosh, this is actually doing really well. Oh no, no! Oh gosh. Oh, that's why I needed a bit more flour. Right, this is the problem with this one. I'm gonna make another dollop exactly the same size, but I'm gonna give myself an allowance for a bit more flour just to dust it, if that's all right. Damn it. Do you know what? Actually, forget the extra flour. I just use less water, and we've got ourselves a much better consistency there. You're supposed to do it by eye, and I tried to do that, but I think I was like, no, I just need more of it. So by diluting it more, I was getting more, but ultimately ending up with something sticky, and that looks like it wants to be a dough. Yeah, see this one, I haven't even left it to hydrate, just a little bit less water, but there is, yeah, the water did help spread it, but as you saw, we sort of smeared it, and that really would be a thin base. So let me just check this. Okay, again, no, I'm gonna dust it. I'm gonna dust the baking parchment, I think, just to, yeah, I've got to. Probably adding about 5 calories doing that. But I just don't want it to stick, okay? I don't think any amount of flour is gonna save our first one, but we should be able to get this quite thin now. I don't know how perfect this is gonna be. Oh no, don't stick, don't stick. Do you know what? It'd be so much easier using a store-bought tortilla. It's literally here teasing me. But you're too fatty, mate. You're too fatty. You need to go on a diet. I'm a middle-aged man literally talking to a tortilla. What is impressive though is how thin we have actually got that, to be fair. Ugh. Yeah, look at this. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Got it nice and thin, fairly decent shape, and then all of a sudden, I fold it on itself. So there are presses available that make that step way easier. I don't have one yet randomly. I really should get one. It's not like me to collect random kitchen appliances that I might not ever need again. Yes, I'm looking at you, popcorn cannon. Oh my gosh. Wow. Apparently you can cook other things in there like chicken legs, so we might see that again. But anyhow, I've put no oil in this pan. No oil in the mix, as you saw. We're just trying to cook it through to give us a better base that is hopefully a little less corny in every sense than our first attempt. Woo! It is firming up already. I'm gonna do this a few times, but just so you can see, I've got the confidence now to turn it over. It's got some strength. You are going to be a pizza base, my friend. All right, happy with that color. Look at that. Down you go, my friend. And yes, let out the air. Oh yeah, you're warm. So we are somewhat restricted because this base, although we've made it healthier, is pretty much it. We are governed by the base. Fortunately, no pepperoni going forward on any of these. It's much better, in my opinion, to like pad it out. I was actually told with pizza, like, you don't really need that much tomato sauce. It's just kind of like a break between the crust. Yeah, so about 10 calories in that sauce alone. There's probably some sugar in that. We've got the mozzarella back. And then we can just add some vegetables on. So I've got some peppers. Also got some red onion bits here as well. These are like tiny amounts of calories, okay? But again, they can help us like pad it out. Bit of color as well, you know? Yeah, so I'm just adding some pepper on to really make it pop. And why not? It's absolutely minimum calories. The corn cake, like that was in the 80s. This is much closer to 100, but that looks pretty good. So it should go on a baking tray, but no, this is a pizza. We are gonna put it onto a pizza tray. And I know that is a gigantic pizza tray. That is actually a decent sized pizza all in all. It's actually larger than the takeaway one. Just while my oven warms up, this is some chicken in a pan. 2 raw chicken breasts, way more than I need. We're just gonna poach that. So if you wonder where the poached chicken comes from in a bit, that's where it came from, right there. In you go, my friend. Good luck. God, I tell you what, folks, I'm blooming happy with... That's hot. Blooming happy with that. It was starting to catch a little bit here, so I've got it out in time. I'm not completely convinced by this lighter mozzarella, but you can't deny that's a pizza. Well, let's see if it tastes like one. Oh wow, a pizza where we need pizza slicer. Oh, that's a good crunch. That is a very good crunch. Oh, ha, ha, ha. So yellow peppers, nice and sweet. Red onion, mozzarella. Let's have a go. Mmm. Oh, our homemade crust has definitely got some crunch. The pepper on it as well is a lovely, nice enhancement. The cheese is actually pretty good now. I feel like I can taste it considering the size of that cake. Maybe you'll give me some slack. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Wow. That is a lot more pizza-ish, but I don't know how pizza-ish it is, if that makes sense. I love the homemade vibe of it. The fact that we've actually made that base from scratch, it feels good. It's still not perfectly pizza. The flexibility it offers and that freshness, really good. So Warrior poaching chicken breast, chicken crust pizza. Yep, that is done now. It's been simmering away for a while. It was cold water brought right back up with raw chicken breast in there. Do make sure it's cooked through. You can shred it with a fork or... The only problem is we've got 2 chicken breasts and that is way, way, way too much than we need. So I'm gonna take a quarter of that mix. We don't wanna make this too thick. There's nothing else added yet. We could flavor it, we'll just flavor it once we know how much we've got. This will be a crispy one, otherwise it'll be way too chewy. A little bit like our homemade tortilla one, I'm squishing it as much as I can and using the paper here, it's allowing me to put some real pressure on to try and spread that surface area. Why are we only using a quarter of the mix? Well, if we use any more, that is pretty much 90 calories. We've got very, very little more we can do with it. But it's meat in the pizza. So let's just flavor it as best we can. We could stir this in. We could have beaten it through when we were using the whisk just then. Onion powder and garlic powder, salt again, and pepper too. Why not? Right, so let's get that bacon on its own. First of all, just to make it become a base. So unlike our corn cake, which was sort of like stubborn, like, hey, yeah, corn cake here, just dump your ingredients on, let's go. A bit like the tortilla, we've got to get a nice foundation for our toppings, which are kind of restricted, but we'll be creative. All right, down it goes. You can see it's browned around the edges there a little bit, and I can just show you, I can get under it like a little chicken mat, which, to be fair, that would be amazing as like a taco if you rolled it up, or a burger bun. There is lots of things we could do with that, folks, but no, we will pizza. But unfortunately, we are so restricted to this one. I would love to put mozzarella on it, and of course you can. It would not be that much, as we've seen, just small amounts. But as that's slightly larger, it's better to go for a different cheese. Even this sprinkle of Parmesan, even that is 10 calories. Just that. It's literally that. But mushrooms are good. A lot of people don't like them on pizzas. Whenever I use mushrooms, I'm not gonna say the P word, the fruit, you know? I personally don't mind. As long as you eat whatever's on your pizza, I don't care. We've already flavored the crust, don't forget. So it's got salt and pepper, the garlic and onion powder in there. So some extra chili flakes as well. And we will finish it with something that can make it pop. Well, it kind of looks like a pizza going in at least. But that base is gonna be gorgeous. And I have to be honest, I feel a little bit sorry for this pizza just on the side as an example to have if I need it later. The willpower is strong, but speaking of willpower, that tortilla pizza, I've only got 1 slice left. I ate the rest for my genuine lunch and I do not feel full at all. I feel awesome. I feel light. I don't feel like I've eaten pizza. I mean, arguably I perhaps haven't, but I got that pizza fix and that is kind of the goal we're aiming for. Oh no, this could be one that sounds better than it actually is, but actually that does look like a pizza now. Wow, it looks better on the camera than it does in person. Can't deny the cheese is melted into that sauce. It's brown around the edges. The mushrooms have definitely withered. If that's even a phrase, but we can make it just pop a little bit with a few washed rocket leaves there. Yeah, I'd say this is one where it definitely feels probably the most unpizzery, but it does look like it. That browned chicken crust edge. What a weird slice that was. But let's give it a whirl. In terms of toppings, it's actually, if I put a bit of chili oil on there and maybe I'm missing the mozzarella, that'd probably be one of my favorite things with, well, the fact that the chicken is there. The flavor is absolutely delicious, but the texture is just far too chewy. That is not a pizza crust. The only thing that is making it crust, to be fair, what the crust is those outer edges where the chicken got super thin, where it has browned. That is actually crunchy. The rest is a little bit chewy, but it's chicken. It's the first time it's felt like I've actually had like a decent amount of meat on the pizza, which we won't avoid with our last one, but one thing we will gain is the ability to have more toppings. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to grate cauliflower. I think I might have bought the most sort of frazzled cauliflower in the world. If you ever grate it, it turns into something called cauliflower rice, or it can be used for many, many dishes, but it goes absolutely everywhere. But I actually want to whole roast this, so we're not going to use that. Most supermarkets now actually sell cauliflower rice, already done, ground up for you, polystyrene territory, so you can enjoy the moment. And the moment is now, folks. Cauliflower crust pizza. I have tried this before, and honestly, it's so low in calories. I think we can make something good here. All right, just that amount of cauliflower there. 25 calories. Right, so obviously this is Frozen, so we can't let it go. Yes, dad joke pun. My girls grew up watching Frozen. To be fair, I think I now like it more than they do. We need to thaw this out in the microwave. Mike is still broken. Oh my gosh. I have to replace Mike. I can't. Come on, Mike. We'll use inside. I mean, not that I'm outside, but you know what I mean. Here we go. Defrost that cauliflower. It's only when I come back in here that I realise how echoey it is in here. Hello! I still live here. Nice. All right, so that is all nice and thawed out. And actually, I do need an egg. That's great. Yes, we are going to have with the cauliflower. Please do not drop this yolk in, Barry. Come on, you can do it. Yes! We just want the egg white to help bond it. And the great thing is that already is only 35 calories, so we can really push the top. Garlic granules again, and this is some onion granules. I just think that combo's worked so well today. I'm just sticking with it. Of course, we could experiment a bit more with it, but I'm sticking with that. And this time it's actually in there as well. Oh, it smells really good. So I definitely feel like there's a follow-up to this video of like, we're building the bases today. We're doing alternative ones to try and achieve the 100-calorie pizza, right? But there is something in doing like a dough, like an actual pizza dough, where we get it as close to it. I know there's like a Greek yogurt flour combo, but the flour really does push that. But the great thing with this, as I ironically push and prod with the spatula, is we can start to try and form quite a good crust on this. We can shape it, keep the middle, you know, fairly flat, and start to encourage it out to the sides, and you know, you can play around with it and build those sides back up. I am definitely going to try and raise this crust up though. Look at this. This is awesome. I am mega impressed with this. So again, in it goes, just getting it set. Are you not entertained? Please consider subscribing if you're not already for regular food fun like this. I'm having a lot of fun today. I love how we've kind of made a crust. I mean, we've created the crust with the chicken one and the tortilla as well, and indeed sort of the corn cake by having those exposed sides. But this one is exposed, but we've also created that sort of raised edge to maybe give it that sort of stereotypical look. I mean, whether it tastes right is another thing, but we are looking positive. Oh. I don't know if you can see that there. We've got some brownage already. It's held its shape. I don't want to push it too much because, of course, it's got to go back in. It smells like Christmas. I can't explain why. Yes, we have got enough slack, but the sauce is going to stay the same. I don't want to make too big a puddle. But the great thing is we've got that raised barrier we've created. And, of course, I could have mixed and matched today. Some of you guys be like, why didn't you put this with this, this with this? You can. Do what you like, my friend. And show me if you do. I love to see it. But these cherry tomatoes... Oh, we've done that very symmetrical. Look at that. Cherry tomatoes halved are just 5 calories. So we've got slack to put a bit more mozzarella on than we did before. In fact, this is almost double what we've been using before because we haven't used it all up on the base. Oh, look at that. Again, some oregano too. Yes. And as simple as that might look, that is what we're going for because we will finish it with basil. We're going to do some proper margarita vibes, but let's see if we can get that color looking good. I'm really happy with that. This is where it could all go wrong. All right, for one last time, in you go. Kind of getting emotional here. Like, I just want to keep cooking pizza for the rest of my life. No, I'm kind of all pizzaed out. That was the plan when I was thinking about this video. We've saved the best till last. Okie dokie, here we go. I'm absolutely loving that. Let me see if I can just come down a slight bit more. Here we go. Can you see that there? Lovely charred crust on it, still puffed up. It's flattened slightly, but it's still got those indents. The cheese is melted and browned. The tomatoes are softened. The herb punch is smelling great. And speaking of herbs, we want to make it a little bit more margarita. Oh, I've got 2 there. Some leaves of basil on there. Fresh basil, which is sometimes my nickname. I've said that a few times. What do people call you? Normally Baz, but basil is becoming quite common. I used to put the pizza in the oven with the basil on it, but it would kind of wilt. So it depends. The heat might make this kind of shrivel a teeny bit, but I am really happy with that. Oh, a very light crunch on the crust here. Can I get that tomato up? Oh, oh no, it's joined there, you crusty. crust thing. There you go. Cheeky, cheeky. Look at that. I think we do need to give an honorary mention to this pizza, which has just been through quite a lot today, having to watch a lot of pizza attempts, but we've had quite a selection. Starting with our corn cake, which is still going strong. It's been sat there about 4 hours now. The crispness from our tortilla was gorgeous. It was just a bit thin. And the chicken pizza, well, you do have that stereotypical sort of floppy base. It was just almost a bit too chewy and meaty. I'm only gonna have a little bit of this. We've got the taste of pizza. What makes a pizza? Is it the toppings? Is it the base? Is it the combo? We thought it was the base at the start, but with that, we have got a crispy crust outer. I feel like I'm missing that real sort of like dense like crunch of even something thin like the tortilla. There's definitely work to be done there, but a theory of tortilla compared to like the simplicity, that was the thing today. It was just, can we achieve a 100-calorie pizza? And yes, we have, and even under that. And is it pizza? Well, I'll leave that up to debate, but does it taste good? Yes. Will it replace this? I know if I ate that, I'd really be feeling it. Thank you to the names on the screen right now that support the channel on Patreon. Please consider doing so on there, or YouTube memberships for various different perks if you wish. Also down below, if you're on YouTube, you'll see a video that I think you might like after watching this one. Cheers, and let me know what you think, which one you would try. Bye-bye.